Let's just focus on what Sri Aurobindo says. He says that his integral yoga is such a task, the transformation of our whole nature, that we cannot do it by human effort alone. It happens when we open to a higher force. He says for his yoga to happen, two things are necessary: the action of the mother's force with its light, and on the sadhak's part, a receptivity, an openness to the mother's light and force. What paves the way for this receptivity? Receptivity is paid for by surrender. Surrender means you just trust with every fiber of your being that nothing happens in your life without the mother's will and her sanction. And if it is so, I accept everything that happens smilingly with the thought, you've put this on my plate. I drop resistance. Let me see where you're taking me through this movement. And I have the Kalyan Shraddha, the constant faith within me that you're only going to take me to a good place, and this is without exception. And with that, I surrender. Atmasamarpan, the first step. So with your eyes shut, focus on the top of your head. Feel or visualize Mother's presence of the sun over your head. Open the top of your head to the sun like a flower, without demand, without desire, giving up doership and just giving yourself through the top of the head like a flower gives itself to the sun. It may help to bring Mother's image overhead. Just see what you feel, her force acting above your head. And do nothing. Just stay stationed, feeling this force. Second step, Sri Aurobindo says, is to stand apart and watch her working in you. So, you'll notice various tides of nature rising and passing away as thoughts, emotions, body sensation. You do nothing with them. You just offer them to Mother, stand apart and watch how she works on them without questions. And when her force works, sometimes lots of things come to the surface which create disturbance. But Sri Aurobindo instructs that do not grieve when you see the rising of impurity and what you call sin. He reminds us of Krishna's promise to his devotee in the Gita that one who adores me cannot perish. Ma Shucha, do not grieve. Watch it and offer it to her. Third step, he says, is to see everything as God. All arisings in me, all doubt, all revolt, they are movements of God. God working on my nature through Prakriti. So I don't resist. I just surrender and open to the Mother for her to work on them. And beautiful lines from Savitri, where he says that one who really surrenders to him becomes his slave. So these lines, who hunts and seizes me, my captive grove. This shalt thou henceforth learn from thy heartbeats. Forever love, O beautiful slave of God, O lasso of my rapture's widening nose, become my cord of universal love, the spirit ensnared by thee forced to delight, of creation's oneness, sweet and fathomless, compelled to embrace my myriad unities and all my endless forms and divine souls. O mind, grow full of eternal peace. O word, cry out the immortal litany. Built is the golden tower, the flame child is born.